What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Juices Loose podcast. This is number 169, and we didn't even plan anything special. Unlike the 69th podcast, it's been 100 since then. Jesus.
Wow.
But we're gonna give hands-on impressions of Sonic Forces and Doom on the Switch, and then talk about a few other topics. Rocket League coming out tomorrow. Excited about that. Let's talk about another game that's coming out tomorrow.
We don't need to talk about it.
Right.
That can go eat a dick.
I will say, it like without the frame rate drops, I was like, man, that looks pretty good. And then I saw the stutters and was like, oh no, like it looks like I don't know, maybe they wanted it to look as good as possible and gave up. But we're gonna talk about the fact that it's Unreal Engine 4. It's like a cell shaded art style. There's really no reason for this game not to run good. Like it's kind of worrying, and I wonder what they've been doing this whole time, if there's some issue. But then you heard other reports that it's just doesn't run that well on other systems either. So T and Robert both had it pre-order. I know there was like a really good deal. Somehow you got it for super cheap, way long. I mean, that was like,
well, that was then, and actually they bumped that price right on back up.
Did they?
Yeah. I checked recently. It's like, oh, you got me. Okay. Makes it easier for me to cancel this bitch.
Oh, really?
Gotcha,
For me, it was still the same. I still had it at 21 or something.
They got me up to 31 somehow.
What? And then you got, people like, maybe they can patch this. Like, if they could why would they be able to patch it now? They delayed it for months and months. Like, how are they going to suddenly figure it out?
Why didn't they patch the Xbox and PlayStation versions?
Right.
And why did those versions only run at 30? Like,
that game is just not developed well, period.
It's just, it's this tiny team. Maybe they're just in over their heads.
With their tiny hands.
I don't know. I just had so much hope. But I waited for this game.
It really sounds for one of the first rare times that is just developer incompetence somehow.
Yeah. That's basically what it comes down to.
Well, yeah,
there's no reason for a game with hardly any enemies. There's no real enemies. It means it's mostly
there's nothing on screen.
It's a nice big world and whatnot, but like it just doesn't make any sense. Like it just was not developed well, was not coded well from day one. And they're just trying to port that code, and it's just not working out. That's what took so long. They don't want to start over. They didn't want to have to start over and recode it for a different platform, which I understand because they're a tiny team. Like I said, they're an indie team. But you can't just put this out. This is not acceptable. It's just not acceptable in today's age. And the one thing that just hiccup once in a while here and there, but it's just all the time. It looks like it's all the time, everywhere you go. And it's just that's not acceptable for me.
No, and it's like, it seems like a pretty decent game. Like, now that the Switch version isn't up to snuff, would you maybe just try to pick up the PS4 version? I know it's I think it's cheaper now than it was. Or you just like, fuck this guy, fuck this team, forget this game? Because
I'm not angry about it. Like, it's not like, oh, screw them. I'm just disappointed. Yeah, that's even worse. You hear a parent say that. I'm not angry at you. I'm just disappointed. And it affects my ability to enjoy the game anywhere at this point. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't even if I did buy the PS4 version, I don't think it'd be lingering. Like, I'd rather be playing this on my Switch, and I can't. Like, kind of thing. So.
What about you, Robert?
The only thing I could think I'm buying is just on PC. And maybe I'll buy it on PC. It's just, it's one of those games that I pre-ordered so long ago that I kind of forgot about. And so it's like I still heard it's good, but at the same time, you got me at a point where there's so many games coming out right now where it's like, crap. Well, I think I will wait on Rime. Maybe January, February will be pretty damn empty. And so I could squeeze in a Rime and play it on Steam, and that'd be good. I might do that. But like, it does suck because, I like to support the platforms that I like to play on, the Switch, and the fact that I can take it on the go, that's pretty damn awesome, and so it's sad that we can't get a complete working version of Rime, especially when you got something like Doom that just came out. It's like, it's strange.
If you play it undocked, you get the frame rate issues. Plus, it looks like somebody wiped Vaseline across your split screen. So it's even worse.
So you just can't win, is what you're saying.
You just cannot win. Like,
man, fuck this shit.
That's how I felt. We'll talk about Doom later, but when I got to hell,
You were
last
now.
night I saved it, and then when I got to work, I was like, I'll play a little portable mode. And I thought like the area before the interior stuff, a lot of dark and a lot of like that industrial compound or whatever. I was like, man, this looks really good in portable. I'm playing it. But when I got to hell, I was like, whoa, this looks really, really bad all of a sudden. And then when I docked it, it looks actually pretty good. So I don't know if maybe that's tripping up some
Which game?
developers.
I'm sorry.
Well, with Doom, I was just kind of saying how maybe some developers are having trouble with the whole docking, undocking thing. Because there's parts of the game that I thought looked phenomenal, but portable, and parts where it looked really good and docked, and then there's parts that look really bad in both.
Oh, that's true, because that happened with another Unreal Engine 4 game. Actually, two other ones. Snake Pass. Initially, I think this.
I always thought Snake Pass looked fine, but
I thought before the patch it looked kind of blurry. And then same for NBA Playgrounds. Oh my gosh, that was definitely ugly, undocked. So maybe it's something weird about Unreal Engine 4. I don't know.
And Rhyme's $30 on Steam right now, so that's not
That's
not a bargain.
That's not even
I thought it'd be cheaper actually.
Go to CD keys and you can beat that probably.
Yeah, that's why they probably have one of those.
But yeah, so anybody else was looking at Rhyme that maybe retro, or is that a game you were thinking about?
I was definitely thinking about Rhyme. I wanted to get it on the Switch, like Robert, having it on the system I prefer, and having it on the go, that was a great idea. But now that I'm hearing all this shit, I have no problem just getting the PC version, because I do still want to play. It still looks so much fun. It looks like a great game, but I'm not. And this, like, I don't. When usually people want to say on the Switch, it's like the worst version of the game, like Doom. I don't care. Doom looks and runs great, But this just barely runs. So yeah, then I'm gonna switch to the better platform.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about this with Clocked It. I don't know if I can't remember if it was if you were part of the chat, but there's a point where you gotta, even though we're all gamers, we like gameplay and stuff, but there's also a point where if something's like ruining the play experience, that's when it's not like, oh, I'm not graphic whoring. I'm just, the game has stutters, which impacts being able to play the game. Then I think
it's like, like we all know that Breath of the Wild, Korok Forest is wow. It's just like, but it's just a forest part. It's not like there's not like gameplay there. There's not like you're fighting, or you're not like doing puzzles or anything like that. And if, if the whole game was like that, oh my, no. Yeah,
that would have sucked.
No.
Yeah, because of the Korok Forest, you don't have to do any combat or anything.
Yeah.
There is, if you have the magnesis on when you're looking for a treasure chest in the Lost Woods, you do get some slowdown, but the last time I played after the last update, when you kill the moblins, it no longer has that stutter, so they fixed that, because it was every one I was killing. Sometimes the screen would pause, in the beginning when you kill a moblin, just because of must have been due to his death animation or something.
That's definitely fixed, because I actually all the Lost Wood stuff I didn't even really touch until after that patch, so.
That's gone. I always like the little balls thingy. I always like that, actually. I thought that was on purpose.
There's a couple times where my screen froze that during the moblins falling to his death, and that's gone. So that's something they worked out. If the whole game, if every time you killed an enemy, it did that, I mean, that would definitely have negatively affected the game, and it's like, if you're just running around in Rhyme, I seen Nintendo Life's video, and he made the jump, but it was stuttering so bad. I was like, I'm sure people are going to fall to their either death, or I don't know how that game works, or miss a jump and have to like climb back, go, like if you're depending on the platforming style of the game, maybe there's a point where if you fall and you have to go way back to the beginning to like climb back up and stuff. And when pauses like that happen and you're just like spamming the jump button,
yeah,
like, oh, I need to jump. Well,
you know what's actually happening? You're going to fall to your death and die. And then the dog come over there and lick your corpse. That's what that's.
That was pretty awesome.
And none of us are like.
How's that awesome, Robert?
None of us are like frame rate elitist or anything, like by a long shot.
We all own Zelda.
We all have, exactly. We play games that have frame rate drops, but the difference is that's usually during like some heavy action stuff. It's not when you're just running along, like looking at the scenery.
Yeah.
That is just unacceptable. That's because it pulls you out of like the game at that point. It's just like
That's bad
thing is
programming.
stuttering.
That is.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, like for instance, like I have a PC and the Switch, but I'm playing Doom on the Switch because I could play with you guys and play multiplayer. While if I wanted to, I could probably get like 200 frames per second on my PC and stuff. It's like sure, but I'm not playing with you guys, you know. It's more enjoyable like that.
I'm never gonna turn on the PC version of Doom until I'm like maybe someday when we're done playing the multiplayer stuff because I'm afraid to see what it looks like on my PC. I'm just starting to get used to it.
I did. It's not that. I mean, it's definitely you can see the difference.
There's some areas that are worse than other areas.
Yeah, it's not that bad overall. It's like you can. I think it's not that bad overall because of the frame rate. It's a solid frame rate for the most part. It stays locked at 30. So and it moves. It feels like it's faster than that.
The camera turns so quick. I've never seen a 30 frames per second game.
I don't remember. I can't remember a 30 frames per second game that moves.
Camera turning so fast. Now,
Yeah,
my aiming isn't necessarily as precise as it would be on what I'm used to with Call of Duty with 60 frames per second. You know, I do a lot of strafe aiming.
Yeah.
But you know, I had a couple like Twitch shots on the online multiplayer. I got the Gauze rifle or whatever. And a guy was running. I just did a quick little Twitch shot and got him dead on, you know. So I mean, it works surprisingly well. Mm-hmm. We'll talk more about Doom, you know, in a little bit. But as far as rhyme, it does make you wonder. Like, it can't just be. Obviously, the Switch is the least powerful, but Unreal Engine 4 and the art style would tell you that this game should be able to at least. Be hitting 30 pretty consistently. You know, it just makes you wonder what is there in
what
the
is
code.
The resolution? Anybody know?
I'm gonna guess 720 docked
on
but
both. Yeah,
it looks like it's way sub
like it's 540
480 probably. But it's, you know, getting back to my thought about some developers having problem with the undocked and docked version where people said they thought Snake Pass looked blurry, and we keep bringing up Doom. It's like we might as well just talk about it. But I was playing in portable mode and I docked it, and I swear it didn't bump up the resolution. It looked damn near unplayable until I got out and got back in of my save file, and then it looked fine. Like I don't think the game recognized that it was docked to like bump up the resolution. It looked like a small image blown up on a 65-inch TV.
Oh, really?
Sometimes you'll run into like late GameCube era models, like with those forklifts, like the second level, I think. Or whatever. Those things look awful if you get close up on them. Like, oh my god!
I was in there,
and some scenes are just like, wow, this looks really good for, you know, Doom on the Switch. So
yeah, I screen capped. I forgot to post it to Twitter before we went on an area that was like there's water, there's like puddles of water, there's light reflecting, and it looked amazing.
Yeah,
and it's got moments of greatness, and then other moments where you can see the flaws. But yeah, so I'm just wondering if there are some developers developing it for docked first, and then, well, let's try to get portable running, and other developers like Nintendo doing portable first, and then, all right, let's see what we can do when it's docked. Let's bump it up now, you know. So I'm wondering there's different strategies for different.
I would
developers.
say nail docked first. Yeah, I think that's a good starting point because that way at least you won't get the Vaseline effect when you go docked.
Yeah, I don't know.
I would actually say the reverse. I actually say
get it
portable
running
first.
Looking decent and portable.
Is that that's what I meant to say? I meant portable first. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my bad.
But I also feel like my first impressions of Doom were like they don't take enough advantage of the dock. It doesn't feel like as much of a improvement, but
Really?
I don't know.
I've seen comparisons, bro. It looks like a decent bump up, surprisingly.
Yeah, I think it looks better.
But
again, it could be just one of those things where it's like, oh, this section looks better.
I think certain areas.
Maybe just because it's blown up on a way bigger TV. You know what I mean? Like I haven't played it in portable, but like it still looks. I always remember when we were playing multiplayer, I kept laughing because every time you would get killed, they would show like this incredibly blurry. Like,
Oh yeah,
guy in the middle. It's so bizarre because the text is all nice and stuff. It's fine. And all of a sudden, you just have this blurriest guy.
They slept the blurry guy up. What the hell is this?
I've noticed that too.
Like, why is it so blurry compared to everything else?
And that's one of those where I feel that game. We don't know for sure, but I feel they started in like April, so that could be one of those things where they could continuously improve it.
Hopefully, we get a patch to do
the audio.
Skyrim looks really well. You know what I mean? Skyrim looks
Nintendo,
really good.
Bethesda's doing that, aren't they? Bethesda.
Oh
Nintendo.
yeah, that's true. It's not like Doom wasn't.
Nintendo's
doing it, but Nintendo's publishing. That's so weird. Yeah.
So that tells me Nintendo's got some. They probably got their hands on it too.
Yeah.
Does anyone know what Wolfenstein 2 is being by? Like who's
Panic Button.
Yeah, I think it's Panic Button.
Also Panic Button. Okay, so all right.
They'll have more time. They'll have the experience of Doom, and they'll have more time.
Yeah,
it should be better.
The problem with that game's way more visually demanding and impressive than Doom, so it'll be curious to see.
That'd be pretty interesting to see.
It'll be curious to see.
It'll look like Lego blocks.
Welcome to Minecraft.
Like I said when they first showed Doom, I was like, man, like I know the people would have been like probably mad, but how about trying a cell shaded look and seeing, because the textures are already pretty low quality, so like try a cell shaded look and make it a cleaner image. And I don't know. I think for me that would probably.
I don't think cell shaded works for Doom though.
Not like a full cell shaded, but at some point,
I feel like that kind of it's counterproductive to what Doom's aesthetic really is.
I think they had to keep it the same for this game specifically. Though.
Oh, by the way, they also
first one
on Twitter they mentioned the hashtag Doom Million. Thing. Took all like the pictures of everyone posting their pictures of like their Switch versions of Doom, and they're like, "Thank you guys for the support," and he put them out. And then right under, I see Robert put his fucking picture.
I missed that completely because I was one of the people like I would like to see Doom and Wolfenstein break 1 million on Switch. So that would be cool.
It'd be cool.
I was thinking if it did 300,000, it would be.
Well, yeah, I mean initially.
But we're talking about just making money. I mean, that's a different story because I mean, they're already not paying publishing fees because Nintendo's publishing the game. So I mean, it probably doesn't even need to break 1 million, probably.
I mean, it's not necessarily about the money per se. It's more that Bethesda sees like the efforts are being rewarded.
Yeah, that's important. That's the important thing too. Yeah, because it sucks when you put a lot of effort into something and nobody buys this shit.
They're going all out. They're the only ones that are going seriously all fucking out on the Switch so far.
I think the next guy is going to be Rockstar. I really believe they're going to be the next people to go out.
Man, look, you didn't hear this from me. I got sources that says GTA 5 is already up and running, bro.
Hey man, chill out.
I'm telling you,
listen. That's a lot of stress you're putting on people's hearts. Don't be out here.
I think that's confirmed. Mr. T, he was telling us he's got some insider information.
I'm telling you.
Cut that shit out. That's what I'm telling you right now.
All right, when it happens,
I'll be happy if it happens.
In the knee.
We already got Skyrim. I want to hear that shit.
I hope it looks. I hope they put a good port out there, and I would be happy with just like a higher res version of the 360 PS3 versions. Honestly, because those were pretty good looking games, other than just low resolution on those systems. Don't need the photorealistic looking PC version. And
that is really good looking too.
I think it's easier to go from the PS4, Xbox One version to the Switch than it is going from 360. From what I hear, it's a lot easier to.
LA Noire looks pretty good though.
But yeah, LA Noire is from the PS4, PC, Xbox One version. It's not a port from the 360. I don't know where people were getting it.
Well, there's a gameplay out of portable mode of people playing it, right?
That's
Yeah,
why
there's like
It
another
looks
hours
good.
of footage.
It looks good.
It looks really good. Yeah.
I was looking at that. I'm like, yep. See, this is why I think Rockstar, since they're, I mean, literally, if you even go on their YouTube channel, it shows the 4K version has like 400,000 views, while the Nintendo Switch has like 1.4 million views or something.
Really?
Yeah, and that's because they're putting ads towards it for every single thing. And so,
this is what happens third parties when you put ads out for the Nintendo version.
yeah, and I really think
I've heard 2K was already saying that the Switch version of 2K18 sold already
sold
pretty
really
well.
Yeah.
They're
They're
happy
pleased
with
with
it.
the sales already.
Yeah,
And
they
it's still
said
going to
they're-
keep selling.
How often do you hear that from Nintendo? Never. So it's like that's awesome to hear. And so that's why I truly believe it's gonna be Rockstar. It's gonna have LA Noire. Then they're gonna be like, "Thank you so much for your support," and then they're gonna give like GTA.
I can't.
Like that.
My heart.
And then after that, maybe they'll even give a Red Dead or something. I don't know.
Man, chill out. You
So
better
LA
stop.
Noire was before GTA 5. So
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Hey,
it wasn't even up to the GTA 5 level. Like it didn't have that game engine back on.
No, I
LA
don't.
Noire
It's probably
LA Noire is
Grand
what?
Theft Auto 4 engine.
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto 4. So, and it's hard to tell from off-screen portable mode, but I mean it does.
No,
look,
there's direct footage of it too.
It looks way better than
Oh.
GTA 4, though. You have to go back to see GTA 4. It's not that good looking anymore.
No,
y'all,
it's not. I just played it recently. It's not.
y'all some savages.
Anybody got the direct feed footage of that?
Yeah, I'm gonna go get the link while you guys. are
LA
talking.
Noire, though, so again, I'm actually surprised. It looked pretty damn good. Like
There's the trailer, which has I think is Switch footage, but
And it is a really good game, folks. Like if you're on the fence, I say buy it because, I mean, you also kind of got to be into that type of game because it's a slower pace kind of.
All right,
It's
post in the chat.
solving a story, solving a mystery type of thing. It's not Grand Theft Auto with 50s cops. So
it's definitely going to be sometime in
so
February-ish, probably type pickup after Zelda DLC and Xenoblade Chronicles 2 type of thing. Maybe that $10 price difference will be gone by then.
No,
But
it probably will be. Yeah.
I did pick up that SD card deal from Best Buy, the 128 gigs SanDisk.
I thought you weren't getting that until
for
next year.
$29.99. I bought it now. I'm not putting it until I need it
Oh, you're just gonna have it sitting,
because I don't think it's gonna get any cheaper than that. I really don't see 128 gigs getting much cheaper anytime soon than that Best Black Friday deal. So, or pre-Black Friday.
Next
all right, so let's just go a little bit further into Doom because we've been kind of bringing it up a ton, and I just got to say that multiplayer is freaking fun. Like, that was worth buying just for that. And I never played the multiplayer, not even once, not even one match on the PC. So it was what we're hoping, like that fix of a first-person team deathmatch type game. And we had so much fun playing Saturday night. We were laughing at that stupid dancing at the end of the match.
I checked. I didn't record. That was the one thing I didn't record. Was laughing at the dance.
And we had a good time playing. So, the single player, I mean, it plays great. There's a few I had one area where there was some drop frames but it was a huge area, and it was like this big cylinder. You're climbing way up to the top. I mean, it's a very big area. It's the only time it happened, but it plays surprisingly fast. Like I don't know if I didn't know it was 60, I'd probably think it was. I'd probably tell people what for sure. I'd like bet money it probably was. Like that's how fast it feels. So the gameplay feels good. The multiplayer is fun. There's some glitches. There's some audio glitches. I had it cut out on me today for the first time, like officially cut out completely. And then I also got a super loud noise that I'm playing, and it just like that buzzing of audio issues. Just really loud buzz. And and then there's glitches where when you shoot your gun in multiplayer, when it starts hitting somebody, you stop hearing the gun and you only hear the sound of it hitting people. So there's a few issues there, but overall, I'm very happy. And as I said, my juice opinions, I lied, said I wasn't going to buy the game, but I bought it, and it's really fun. So what's your take, T?
I'm sorry, I'm having some shepherd's pie here. It's delicious.
Nice.
I was like you. Well, you didn't play the multiplayer because you didn't want to play against mouse and keyboard folks.
Mhm.
But most people kind of discounted the multiplayer, so I wasn't like I was, because when they were talking about it being a separate download and stuff, I was like, I guess I'll download it later at some point. But it became a mandatory thing.
Mhm.
Just slid that in there. Whoops, it's mandatory. So I played it and I was like, this is a lot of fun. This is way more fun than I was expecting. It was a nice surprise because most people who played the other versions like PS4 and Xbox One didn't really talk much about the multiplayer. I didn't really see back when the game came out even a lot of people streaming it or anything. So I was really surprised by it. It is fun. It is pretty fast. We had a blast. I'll be putting up that gameplay at some point, probably tomorrow. And I'm loving the single player too, which I expected to do anyway. But
yeah, I got sucked in. I didn't think I was going to keep playing it, but I'm sucked in.
There's one kind of, I want to say is at the end of the second level or the level before you go. Basically, this is no spoilers. I don't want to hear anything about spoilers. Where you go and try to stop that chick from opening the portal.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the fight right before that level, at the end of that level, where there's a demon onslaught. And I was like,
Yep.
Oh my god! But it was awesome. I got out of it with 5% health left. It was just so exhilarating. The game is just fun as hell. It feels fast. I know it's not 60. You can mostly tell that it's not, but it moves so fluidly. It's just, I love it. So I'm gonna get the PC version too. I downloaded the demo way back when. I enjoyed the hell out of it. But like I said back then, I was like, I feel like I don't know why. I'm not some Nostradamus, but I just felt like this is the game. If any, once Bethesda showed up as a developer for Switch, I was like, this is the game that they would bring. This made the most sense to me. And I'm like, I'm going to wait. And so I waited and paid off.
Nice.
What about you, Robert? Well, I know you weren't planning on getting it right away, but after hearing us talk about the multiplayer, it seemed like you went and
I was
you caved in.
convinced, yeah. Basically, what happened was I was gonna get it in 2 weeks, and then basically Sonic Forces turned out to be trash. And so I what's it called? Traded that in, and then I got in Doom. And hearing you guys talk about the multiplayer, I was like, let's check it out, because and when we were playing it, it's a ton of damn fun. I haven't played the single player. I played a tiny bit when it was on PS4. When it was on, it still is on PS4, but on PS4 a tiny bit. But then I think I played one match of the multiplayer, but I never really saw it until I played it with you guys. I was like, oh, this is actually a lot of fun. It's very fast paced, chaotic, demon loving multiplayer. It's pretty damn cool.
And some cool mechanics in there, like the demon runes and special weapons that appear. We were trying to figure out what it doesn't feel like Halo. It kind of looks like Halo in some ways.
Yeah.
But you move fast. You don't have the floaty nature. You pick classes. You got lots of customization. Kind of like T said you thought it felt more like Unreal Tournament, which makes sense. To me, it was it brought me back to just the feeling when I first started playing Call of Duty Online. It doesn't have the precision controls and the aim down the sights and all that I got used to with Call of Duty, but I started getting that feeling, and then it's getting that GoldenEye feeling because it's something different. It's not just the typical game modes and stuff, even though there is team deathmatch, but they mix it up. And it was just man, this is really fun. So if anybody's first and foremost, if you bought Doom on the Switch and you haven't played the multiplayer, because I didn't really play it on the PC, a lot of people didn't play on the other versions. The multiplayer was kind of forgotten, but those other systems have a ton of competition in the first-person online shooter genre. On Switch, there isn't any. But from what I'm hearing, I posted on Twitter Saturday night, hey, I'm playing Doom, and a guy that's not on my friends list, not on Robert's or T's, he did a find game option and he said he found us. I don't know if the second match it put him in our lobby. So there's no way. The chances of that happen if there's a lot of players is slim to none. So, and then he said he got thrown into RGT85's lobby the next time he searched. So,
damn.
And he's in Japan, and so I'm kind of thinking there's not a whole lot of people playing the online, which sucks. I hope that's not true, or I hope that changes. So if you have the game, just try it. Trust me, it's fun, and you know, I'd like to see the online community kind of stick around. It doesn't tell you how many players are online, but I'm thinking it was like under 100 if that dude got thrown into our group, like on the second try. Maybe even under 30 people playing. You know, so that would suck, but it's possible. Otherwise,
well, we weren't sitting around waiting 10 hours in the lobby or anything. We got in.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. Is that
there was a lot of matches where it started 3-on-3, and then someone would join. So
really, I never saw a 3-on. I didn't play.
Yeah, it was. Remember, me and Robert were just all on a team. We got destroyed.
Y'all weren't in the same match. He's like, where the fuck am I?
It was a 3-on-3.
Yeah, remember,
there was only the 3 of us,
5.
And then a couple people joined after, but we were already just getting demolished.
We got rammed in the ass.
That round.
Wow, chill out.
That's the one I recorded. Yeah,
so much anal rape. Jesus Christ.
Jeez.
But
So
anybody that
shit.
hasn't picked up the game, from somebody who was like definitely not getting it, I already have it. You know, it's the single player definitely feels great, and I'm getting sucked back in. Right before I started the podcast, I was playing just to I wanted to see how hell looked on my TV because I thought it looked pretty bad in portable mode.
Because it's hell
every day.
And I was like, man, this looks good. So I played, and I was like, oh, got into a epic bunch of enemies spawned, and that music kicked in, and I'm killing them. And I was like, oh, let me explore a little bit. And then I got into another one of those moments, and my heart's racing, and it's like, damn, I'm back in. I'm sucked just like the first time I played it. My heart's racing. The music it's so good. I just wish they fixed those audio glitches. And you know,
I haven't had any of those. That's so strange.
I haven't had it.
I'm sure I'm gonna have.
I had it in portable mode. The sound cut off in portable mode, and then I have mine hooked up to a 5.1 through HDMI. I don't know if the problem has to do with the way it's hooked up with surround sound. You know, we talked about it. Like one of the sacrifices for getting it on the Switch was the file size had to be shrunk down, and that could have. One of the big things they could have cut was like the file size of the music, so the quality, the fidelity would be like maybe if you're just listening with headphones or like a TV speakers or something, you won't hear it as much. But the thing about like good audio equipment is that you'd think it would make everything sound better, but it actually makes poor, like low sample rate stuff sound terrible.
Worse.
The better equipment you have, the worse low quality stuff sounds. And I don't know what's going on. There's definitely glitches though. Like other people posted videos.
Yeah, I've heard about that in reviews. So it's not like I'm just saying I'm luckily I haven't had that issue yet. But
yeah, if they fix those, I'll be very happy. And again, I only paid $35 after using my rewards from Best Buy and the discount, so it wasn't a huge investment. I could probably trade it in and get $30 for it. So. If I ever felt the need. And just remind people or anyone that doesn't know, the multiplayer is a mandatory download now, which T mentioned. And I think, like at first I was mad, but once I played it and realized how fun it is, I think it was just, if they didn't do that, then I don't think nobody would be hardly anybody was going to download it and play it. At least this way, it gives it a chance for the multiplayer to have a life. So we'll see if it worked, because once we started playing, I played last night till like 11:20 by myself, and I don't usually play online games with randoms, and I was just like, I want to play. It's just that fun. So,
and at the end of the day, 10 years from now, 20 years when the servers aren't working, I know at least I can still play the single player if I can go back and still play it on my card.
Yeah, because at work I don't have the Wi-Fi password plugged into my Switch.
Yeah,
and it gave me a little. Do you want to research for internet? And I was like, nope, close. And then it just takes me to the single player. The multiplayer doesn't even show up, which sucks because you can't delete the multiplayer. So years down the road, you're stuck with that file size.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I think you can. An option. If you don't have the online, if your Switch isn't connected, you can play the Switch or Doom without the update. But
Yeah,
because
you can
I was connected to the internet, it wouldn't let me play without the update because it knew I was. He's like it knew I had internet, so it's like, well, you're going to download this update. We're not going to let you play it. But if I didn't have an internet connection, then I've heard from multiple people that it does let you play. So, but it, it's one of those things where they kept every like effect in. Like we were talking about, I wish they maybe could have stripped down some of the fog or smoke effects,
fog and all that kind of stuff,
and that stuff, and maybe bumped up some texture quality or something. Probably would have been I think a better way to go. But they left everything in there the way it is, and it's just if you have like a good PC or PS4 and you just want to play the single player, I'd probably say get those versions. But if you want to play the multiplayer with a community that might have a chance of lasting with a game like that, and if you're always on the go, it does play really well in portable mode. I will say with the Joy-Cons, it did feel pretty good. Little aiming's a little off. It's a little harder to be precise, I feel, with the Joy-Cons, but overall, I was actually impressed when I was kind of skeptical about it from the get-go. So, Retro, Terrell, any thoughts on getting Doom down the road?
Maybe.
He was fast. I wanted to originally get it after Skyrim, and then I noticed you guys going into the multiplayer, and I really wanted to play it, so I was like, all right, I'll get it now. But there's only 2 stores in my city currently that sell video games. One of them was completely sold out of Doom, and the other one had it for 65 fucking euros. That's almost $70, and I'm not paying that when I can get it online for 50. So I'm gonna have to wait a bit, and I decided to just go with my original plan on getting Skyrim first, and I'll get Doom later down the line. I definitely do want it, but I'm not in a hurry to get it.
And Clocked It was saying today, like he was gonna make a video about all these people saying the impossible port, like the this and that. Like my take was, if they had more time, I think they could have.
It'd be even better.
I think it could have looked better. I don't think it's the impossible port. I think in the time frame maybe, because my theory is that they started it once because they said they picked Panic Button because they knew the Switch hardware, and they didn't even start Rocket League till like March or April. So, and that was the only other Switch game they were working on that we know of. So my theory is that they started this port in like maybe April, and in that time frame. So I don't think it is like maybe the way that they ported it, it's pushing it. But I think the Switch, I think it could look better, and I think games will look better in a first-person game with more realistic visuals. I think will down the road will look better.
Hopefully, it sells really well, and then we'll support it, with patches and stuff. See if they can.
Yeah, I would like to see definitely some patch for that audio, and then maybe some other improvements down the road. But we'll have to see how it sells. I think it's going to sell okay. I think my friends list wasn't like with Odyssey and Splatoon and ARMS. It wasn't littered with people playing Doom. There was a few. I'm trying to remember, like 5 or 6 people for sure.
I counted 7. I'm like, that is pretty freaking good for it was like Saturday night for people to be on Doom.
Yeah, I seen there was more people playing Stardew Valley still.
Stardew Valley was all over the place.
That game's Stardew Valley's gonna sell $1 million on the Switch.
Yeah, I think so.
But it'll be interesting to see if there's a game built from the ground up. Well, Metroid Prime 4.
Unreal Engine. I think it's gonna be Unreal Engine.
We'll see how that looks. So I do agree with Clocked It. I think people are blowing out of proportion that this port's so impossible. Like, how did they do it? Like, after seeing it, like, I can see how they did it. They dropped the texture quality
way. They dropped it down to 180p. That's
so, we'll see what future games, how they look and stuff. But overall, pretty happy with it, and I would recommend, especially if you get 20% off discount. You got a $5 coupon from Best Buy or something you're sitting on. Definitely, it definitely is the only game like it on the Switch. And
that's the difference between this and Rhyme. Whereas I would accept, lower quality visuals if it performed better. And that's the thing. That's why I like Doom so much, because the visuals are the texture quality is a little lower. The frame, or not the frame rate, the pixel count is a little lower, but it performs well. It runs really well. And had Rime done that, it would be a no-brainer. I'd be like, oh yeah, I don't care about a couple little pixelation here. I would still play it on the Switch, but it performs so terribly.
Yeah, that's it's one of those sacrifices. Be different developers taking different approaches. Hey, do we want it to look good, but do what Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2 did in Japan, where they tried to 1080p or whatever, and it's 30 frames per second, which ran at 20 almost constantly on the demo. I never saw an analysis of the final product. That was just of the demo. And it's because at first, wow, that looks really close to the PS4 version. And then they showed PS4 runs at 60, Switch runs at 20, and it's why? Why'd you try to make it look so close visually? And
a lot of developers have been doing that, to be fair.
They care more about the pixel count. They care more about that than they do frame rate.
I mean, I think that's the way 2K went about it.
That's why we got 4K Revolution going on.
Hey, chill out. It sounds like some 4K propaganda.
Making sure everything is locked at 60, which would be awesome for
gamers. That dude standing out in the corner. Here, take your pamphlets. Have you heard about the glory of 4K and HDR? You need
it. Robert, how does it? I was opportunity for me to get a really good deal on an OLED TV is come my way. A guy at work wants to give me $500 for my almost 4-year-old Sony 1080p, and then there's a Black Friday sale right now. So, how do you feel like Switch looks on a 4K 70-inch screen?
So for me, I mean, again, that's why I laugh so hard when I see the Doom guy when he's so blurry, because it obviously for certain games it does look more stretched, you see it more, but I just can't help but just not really care. You know what I mean? I really love the first time I turned on the 70-inch and I saw Breath of the Wild. I was just so happy. I was hyperventilating. It just, I'm all about that size,
Yeah, I wasn't gonna really ask you from a legit consumer question. Hey, how does it look? Because I don't mean this bad, but I don't trust your judgment on how the Switch, because that was your first big screen. I think you went too big and you're way too close. So I don't really trust your judgment. But I was legitimately
Juice has the worst sneak disses, man.
Well, I'm just, what I'm saying. If he didn't sit 2 feet from the screen, I'd probably value his opinion a little bit more.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, more about TVs, but it's just
But seriously, it's just factually the way TV technology works. If you stand that close or sit that close to something, you're gonna see
can't trust you.
It's not gonna look good.
You get right now. I mean, I'm sitting right in front of it with my glasses on for some reason, and it's still I mean, I just love the size, man. It's all about, like I said, it's all about the size.
You got one of those big James Cameron Avatar wall TVs and sit right across.
It seems like you're overcompensating for something. That's what it comes off.
I'm telling you, I want to one day have a TV on my wall, but I'm gonna still sit that close.
I'm all about go blind in 5 minutes.
I'm all about optimal viewing distance. There's an actual science to where you can stop seeing the difference between 720 and 1080 at a certain distance on a certain size screen. I make sure I'm sitting at the proper. I should probably sit a foot closer than I am, but
for instance, even at a movie theater, I sit in the second row.
Are you insane?
That's
how is your neck?
No, well, it's a reclining seat, so it's reclining.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're still staring at the ceiling then.
I love it.
How did this turn into a public shaming of Robert and his weirdest habits? We're gonna just nickname the podcast "Get Your Shit Together, Robert."
I just always thought it. I've always loved just after the size, and that's why
wants to fucking insert. Third his head into the television.
I keep wanting to say that's what she said, but you just keep saying that. I just love the size.
We were all thinking it. We were just like, we're gonna let it go.
I got big hands, and I want to.
No, you don't.
This is number 169 for sure.
I thought T already established you have tiny ass hands.
You got. I got big hands. And also, I mean, big hands. Because there's a big screen, there's a lot of big things that could go on a big screen.
Can we stop? Just move the fuck on.
Wow.
I'm so fucking done with this shit.
All right, let's talk about Sonic Forces.
I say your hands just look big when you go pee.
Oh my god.
That was good. But no, they look tiny as fuck.
Oh my god.
I got jokes on this podcast.
169, man. We gotta do it.
Oh.
So anyway, so did that
rum too, so it's helping.
So how'd that big TV help Sonic Forces for you, Robert?
Oh man, there's not.
It
didn't help anything.
I'm gonna ask Terrell a different question. How'd that 60 frames per second on PS4 Pro help Sonic Forces for you?
Well, I like the game more than Robert does, so apparently it helped enough.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think it helped based on the complaints about the controls and
about to say,
physics.
You look pretty depressed in your video.
Yeah, it tripped me out. T was like, man, you must be sad as shit. I was like, yeah, man, I wanted to play a good game. Fuck. I'll let Robert go first. I thought Robert needs to go first.
Oh boy. I'm sorry. I don't know if Ruby's still in this chat.
Don't do that. She left.
Okay.
She knew better.
So the game is garbage, guys. It's really damn bad. To me, it's easy the worst game I've played of the year. I mean, one of the worst games I've played in recent memory. I just yeah, listen, I don't like it. Trust me.
He's here.
Yeah, I'm still here. Listen, you can have your own opinion. If you love this game, if you love this game, that's fine. But to me, I can't comprehend it in my head. It's just really damn bad. Like, I mean, so when I first started, I was like,
Ruby's still in the chat, by the way.
Yeah, that's if you like it, Ruby,
Yeah, don't let anybody else affect your.
Yeah, if you love that blue hedgehog,
How old are you, Ruby? Just wondering.
Don't do that. Look at this. I would just do that shit. Be like, so how old
terrible games too. So
what I will say is that the first time I was playing, I thought it was okay and all that stuff. I'm like, it's all right. And then the more it went on, these horrible ass cutscenes. Hey, I'm Sonic. Well, that was the worst impression ever. But you got this guy named Infinite that is way too stupid a dialogue, and then it just the story itself is dumb as hell. It's not like I'm like,
you can't be getting them out of the story now. Come on.
But it's not like I'm looking for a good story either. But it's just like, if you're not gonna make a good one, what's the point of even having it? You're still wasting my time. It's like
I said you wasting my time. Don't waste my time.
What's your least favorite, or what's the thing that was just like this isn't good? Like, what part of it?
I mean, no joke, man. It's crazy. It's a culmination of like everything. It's like I feel like I went through like I have to go through therapy after this. Like, to me, it's crazy because like I said, I started playing, but then as I went on, the levels, it feels like everything about the controls, the actual physics, the level design itself, that I feel like when you're going fast, I get it. It's like Sonic's supposed to go fast, but we were talking about this before the podcast. What I thought about, to me, and like he's playing Lost World. To me, Lost World, when you're going fast, you're able to still see what's going on. You're able to do reactions, all that kind of stuff while moving fast. But in Sonic Forces, you're moving fast, so fast to the point where you don't even know what the fuck's going on. So you just keep going, running fast, and then you see these dumbass enemies that just stand like bowling pins in a line waiting to just get hammered in the ass by Sonic. And it's just like it's and guess who's gonna win? Sonic's gonna win. If you lose to an enemy, you are the worst player on earth, and you should stop playing games. Period.
Damn, that's how you really feel.
I mean, Jamie, like literally, if you see these enemies, they just stand still, and I'm like, really? This is what's happening right now. These guys are standing still, not even moving. Okay, all right, and then. At the end of each level, and I was telling that before also that it's so funny that there are like no animations in this game. Like the end of the level ends where Sonic just stands still. It's quiet for like a second, and all of a sudden it goes, whatever, some kind of ending music thing, and then he starts clapping his hand that you finished the level. Nice, and it's just so dumb because it's like. But why? Where's the animation? Where's the love and craft to the little details? I guess because like when you see like Mario Odyssey, you get the moon automatically, and you get the moon. He jumps up and stuff like, oh, cool, yes, I got a moon. But when you finish the level, he just stands there and he just looks in the far distance like, what are you looking at, Sonic? Tell me. and
look into my eyes, Sonic.
It's so crazy, and it's just so crazy, and then like. And God, like again, the cutscenes themselves, like I get it. Like the cutscenes for Sonic, I feel like have never been like, oh yeah, they're so good, they're so nice. Never have been. Like I like the Lost World, I enjoyed it. I thought it was entertaining, but like the forces are just so corny. And
do they do that weird stutter pop in thing, and then the dialogue's a little bit off? Sometimes
I don't think so. Did you see it,
No.
Drew? I don't think so.
Not really.
During the cutscenes?
No, I mean I got my own gripes with the cutscenes, so I'm gonna let Robert go.
But to me, like the cutscenes are just—it's so dumb to the point where, and then I see these people on Twitter like talking about like, oh, the story was so good. And I'm like, really? Where? I'm like,
bitch, where?
Like I feel like over the last time I played a Sonic game with like cutscenes was way before I saw like other things like The Last of Us and all these other things that show how you do cutscenes, and even Mario Odyssey, like, and all these other games to show how you do cutscenes, and then they have this ridiculous cutscenes, and why does all of them look so compressed and shit? And it's like, but why can't you just have like in-game cutscenes? Like I feel like that's the way to go, because it looks good, but it looks like I'm watching a YouTube video. It's so bizarre. And then and then it's so ridiculous. Like genuinely, I think almost everything about it's pretty bad.
Wow.
I guess. All right, look, I'm gonna take Robert's shit as a start point, and then I'll transition. First things first, he's right. Even on the PlayStation Pro, the fucking cutscenes look compressed as shit.
Yeah,
like,
I don't get it.
I don't know what the fuck they did. It's like they took you want to talk about Vaseline. The shit is like it's like they just smeared it on the fucking cutscenes. Like you got a 1080p rip from YouTube and you downloaded it with some third-party converter and then re-uploaded it. That's what it fucking looks like. It's fucking stupid. Second thing, controls are inconsistent. I hate what they did. I can explain it really simple. They gave classic Sonic no momentum whatsoever, which pisses me the fuck off. And they gave 3D Sonic and the OC character too much goddamn momentum. So you don't know how many. I think 90% of my deaths in this fucking game was me trying to do a jump and flying off into the fucking right to my death because you think you can just tap the button a little bit. No, you tap it and there goes that momentum again. Woo! Fucking gone.
No, that's what I'll also say. This guy just commented, I'm an optimist, but I'm also a realist. That's in Sonic Forces. It just the dialogue's so stupid.
Okay, look, he is right. That line is it. But let me I'm gonna transition this a little bit because here's my thing. The fucking controls are worse than Generations. If you play Generations, the controls are worse because the fucking moment 3D Sonic doesn't need momentum when he's running forward. It's fucking dumb.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's especially the fucking the waterfall stages where you're in the water and you have to guide yourself and shit. I flew off the fucking side of it so goddamn quickly. The homing attack, the time limit for the reticle that pops up on the enemy, That shit is so short in this game. I think like that first stage, it's like the grinding stage where you get the homing attack the enemies to get to the next grind rail. The shit literally pops up for a second. If you don't hit it, you're fucking falling. The game is is stupidly unforgiving. The levels are short as shit, so even the good levels don't fucking the good levels don't stick around long enough because the levels are all like 2 minutes apiece. And those are good levels. The fucking bad ones are like a minute, and you're like, holy shit. All right, here's my transition. Even with that being said, the game is still fast-paced. A lot of the bullshit, it's bullshit, but the levels don't hang around long enough to get like on my nerves. You gotta remember, I beat this game in 2 days, and the only reason why it took me 2 days is because I was at the last 3 levels, and I was like, fuck, I gotta go to work. I beat the game almost on the same day it came out. It's fucking ridiculous. The game was like 3 hours.
It took me less than 3 hours, yeah.
It's 3 hours. I like the aesthetics. I like what the OC character brings. It's the problem I have with the OC character is that like it doesn't. Some of his weapons, like the whip spawns he uses, some of them don't transition for like speed runs and shit, which is the whole point of playing a Sonic game is to go fast. Especially the Q one where you have to stop, hit the ground, hit it again to kill all the robots and shit. That doesn't bother me as much as far as the killing the robots, because there are a few little sections you got to kill all the robots before you can move forward. Because you can kill all of them in like 2 hits. It's 2 button presses. It's fucking stupid. But I like the aesthetics for some of the levels. Like there's one where you're fucking constantly switching the gravity and shit. The jungle level aesthetic-wise, I actually like. There's a few cool set pieces, like you're riding on planes and you're fighting inside of a snake for a cutscene or like quick time events.
Oh, wait a minute. You like that? Hold on.
Yeah, it was fine.
Talk about random and shit. It's the end of the level, and all of a sudden a fucking snake pops up and swallows you. And then all of a sudden someone's like, oh, I'm gonna get out of here, bitch. And then so he literally just like
He didn't say bitch.
Yeah, he did
it. I'm sorry. He said cut, and then what he?
Oh my gosh!
I mean, first off, I don't mind. And then just to address the story real quick, the story is pretty inoffensive to me. I wasn't angry at the story. To me, at its best, it's fucking mediocre. At its worst, you never want to fucking play it again. I would personally say out of all the recent Sonic games, like the main 3D ones that aren't like the storybook series we got on the Wii, like Secret Rings and Black Knight, I think the game it's better than is Unleashed. And the only reason why it's better than Unleashed is because of the fucking Werehog sections. I think Lost World's a better game. I think Generations is a better game. I think Colors is a better game. It's not like Rise of Lyric Sonic Boom bad, but like that's a low ass bar in the first place. Like I'm currently going through my Red Ring run. It's all right. Oh, and one of the most offensive fucking things about the game, it doesn't have multiple pathways. It's like you fucking turn a corner. Woo, look at this corner you turned. It was different than the last one. Oh, you're back on the main path. And it's like these 2-minute fucking levels. So it's like literally like a slight detour. And I'm like, bitch, this is not good level design.
Let me ask you, Charles.
I hate that shit.
There's one level. Let me ask you, did you have a problem with where it was like you would step on a platform and then it would like fling the platform straight? You know what I'm talking about? Where like it was like multiple paths where it would go near spikes, so you would step on a platform, bring you back.
Oh, you're talking about the last level, yeah.
One of the last levels, yeah. That literally there was one part where because the physics were so bad, like I would jump and then I would jump again, and he would just automatically just fall down like that. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, that happens with the fucking wall jump that you do towards the end of that section too.
Yeah.
Where the fucking you have to like time the wall jump, but like that first jump, sometimes that shit doesn't work, and that's an auto scrolling level. There's like a light beam of death behind you, and you're like, holy shit, get on the fucking wall, and by the time you're on the wall, oh, you're dead.
Yeah.
Fucking dead.
I got to address a comment chat from Ruby, the Sonic fangirl.
Don't do this.
She says it's outselling Odyssey in the UK, and probably the total of all systems, maybe. There's no way the Switch-only version of Forces is outselling Odyssey.
No.
Yeah,
the Switch-only version of Forces is the second best-selling version of Forces. It's like
there's no way, and maybe maybe it's current.
Yeah, it's PlayStation 4, Switch, and then Xbox.
Okay.
Maybe that Friday,
platformers.
Maybe Sonic Forces was outselling Odyssey, which has been out for what, 3 weeks now, I mean, maybe, but still, there's.
All I'm saying,
2 million.
All I'm saying is that when it comes to Forces is not like offensively bad if you haven't played like better games. I guess it's the best way to describe. Like if you haven't played, I'll put it this way: if you haven't played a boost game, if you haven't played Generations or Colors and shit, you probably won't notice some of these changes as much. But if you have, it's like the most annoying fucking thing. And there's no reason for it to be this bad because there's a lot of good ideas in this shit. I swear there's a lot of good things in this fucking game that get ruined by really stupid ass design choices. And it's weird because the fucking length of the levels is like the weirdest thing for me because it's part of the reason why I can replay the game so easily, but it's also part of the reason why I can't fucking stand the level design. Because it's so fucking short and there's no variety. I fucking went back to Green Hill. Oh, there actually is an alternate path in Green Hill. It just takes you up the wall for a second and then you go right back on the main path and you're like, you know, if the level was a little longer, you could actually flesh this out into another fucking pathway. But it's like,
What do you think they've been working on this whole time?
Nothing, apparently.
The mobile versions.
There is no mobile version of the game.
You know what though, Terrell? Do you remember? There's also this one stage where it's like TikTok clock in a way, and you're with the Avatar plus Sonic, and the momentum is so out of whack where you like move forward for like 2 seconds and you like jump over the platform and like
that's like the whole fucking game.
You start flying. You're like, what happened? I thought I was supposed to run, and all of a sudden, you literally just fly over it and you just die. And like when you die, it just says, like, there's no like sound.
That's what I'm saying. The fucking momentum for 3D Sonic is stupid. You have a boost. The fuck do I need to build up momentum for? Just make it. You could have made him just as basic as he was in Generation, where he stopped on a dime. This fucking he needs to fly off into the distance, even if you aren't holding the fucking analog stick anymore. Is ridiculous. And it's the reason why some of the later levels are fucking terrible. Because it's like, oh, I just want to make this easy ass jump. It's like it's a block and you just need to jump to it. And I'm just flying off the fucking stage. Why am I flying off the stage?
And why honestly, like, why are like these characters? I think the only good character designs are like Eggman, Sonic, Knuckles, and like Tails. Everyone else is just very weird, man. Like, what the fuck is with the bat with the tits? Like, what is that? Like,
have you not played Sonic Adventure 2?
No, I no. Well, I haven't played the original Sonic Adventure, but like, just like,
which is not the original Sonic Adventure, so it's fine.
Is that what you said? I don't know.
Sonic Adventure 2 is what she said.
Oh, regardless, she's still weird. Anyway.
I don't really, like I said, I'll keep saying this. I don't really mind the story. The story has some stupid shit in it. But like at Sonic, there's gonna be stupid shit in it anyway.
Yeah, but that's such a bad thing to say. Like, oh, because it's Sonic, it's gonna be dumb. It's like, but why can't
Listen, Lost World was fucking dumb though, Robert. Don't act like Lost World wasn't dumb. It was
genuinely like semi-enjoyable. You know,
I got a kick. I could enjoy Force's story by itself. It's just the stupid shit with the gameplay that ticks you off. Because every time you start enjoying a level, whoop, I just flew off the fucking stage again. Whoop, it's already over. Damn, classic Sonic drops like a rock. That's the shit that pisses me off. For every like tolerable thing in the game, there's something stupid right next to it. So yeah, that's my whole thing. I'm actually way angry about this than I thought I was going to.
Because once I bring up everything you start to think about, you're like, yeah, you know what?
Oh no, I recognize all the problems. I just didn't. I thought I had already accepted that as a thing. Because when I'm playing the game, I don't get mad at the game. I get mad at the game after I stop playing it.
I thought Lost World was good until I was just playing it just now, and I'm like, it's got a section where it wants me just to run, like, and make jumps directly, you know, to my right, but every time I try to jump just to the right, I kept jumping towards or away from the screen and couldn't make my jumps. And I'm just like, it's just little things like that where they can't figure out a way to just, well, this game's basically you're moving forward or you're moving left or right. Like there's no angle move, or there is, but it's not the emphasis. Just do what Mario did in 3D World and give Sonic like 8 directions to move so that you can pull off.
Oh, wait. There's one last thing I just remembered, and it ties into the whole flying off the stage thing. It's real quick. They took away his fucking drift from Generations. You know how easy this shit would have been if there was a drift button in this game? Every time you turn a corner, you wouldn't have to worry about flying off the stage. Oh, no, let's take away the one fucking move that actually would have benefited him in that situation. He had a dick. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't even know what the drift is.
The drift is when you hit like the shoulder button so you could turn a corner real easy instead of just dedicating yourself to the one direction you go in. It's like it's like the drift in a racing game. It's the same concept.
Okay.
But it's weird because you're literally, there's one part I remember where I was running straight where it wanted me to go. And then and all of a sudden I just fell off. And I was like, wait a minute, what happened? I didn't do anything bad. I just was going where you're going. And he does not turn. So when he
doesn't turn. That's what I mean.
He just falls off and like, so wait, you want me to stop? it's like how do I know when you're telling me to stop or go? There's no
pretty much you gotta let go of the analog stick way earlier than you would think you need to because the momentum carries them the rest of the way. Which is fucking stupid because you're trying to base level design off of whether or not I shouldn't hold the goddamn control stick. Which unfortunately there's a good chunk of levels that are like that.
Basically it's like, when was Sonic Lost World? 2013?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. So the next good Sonic game you'll get, hopefully, is in like another 4 years.
No, the next good Sonic game is Mania.
Oh yeah, that's true. But okay, well, at least in terms of the modern.
You go back and you play Generations again. That's what you do.
I don't know. I think.
Besides, if you don't want to buy Wii U, Lost World is on the PC, so you can always go play it there.
On PC, and it's just such a shame. I think Sega really needs to like look at themselves in the mirror and just like tell them, what are you doing?
They need to stop paying attention to the fucking fans that were like, we want the Generations gameplay back. The Generations gameplay doesn't have a lot of room for expansion. You literally can just do the same thing again. And they want to be like, oh, but the fans want it. Yeah, but you see,
find a good idea and do that. Make the fans come to you. Stop going to them all the time.
Well, they just they want to change their shit all the damn time because
we never got Breath of the Wild the way we got it if Nintendo listened to the fans. You have to break out and do your own thing.
And sometimes it'll work and sometimes it doesn't.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it does. But that's what risk taking is about. You got to take some risks.
Yeah. It's weird because they'll take the risk. They're just not consistent about optimizing the ideas they take risks with.
It'll be like a one-off thing and they'll move on to something else.
This shit drives me up the wall because they have good games. Like people like to act like, oh, there is no good 3D Sonic games. No, there are. It's just that they're not consistently good because they get scared every few games and think they need to change the system because people are gonna get bored. And then all of a sudden, oh, the game sucks again. Wonder why.
Yeah, that whole narrative of, oh, Sonic's never been shut up.
I think Sonic Lost World was good. I really like Sonic Colors. Those games are really good. They're not. I don't think they're as amazing as they probably could be. They definitely have
great, but they're good Sonic.
They have potential to be something greater, but for some reason, Sega just never gets to that limit. And it's
the sad thing is you probably could patch Forces, and Forces would be fine. I mean, it would still have its level design problems. You could probably patch and fixes
controls.
That's like the worst fucking thing.
And the physics, man. The physics just feel very wonky. It's just
it's that momentum shit because they keep making it where they gain momentum too fucking quickly. So you're trying to make a simple jump and fly off the screen. That is, I swear that I've never been so angry at flying off the screen. It happens so too damn much in that game. I swear.
Especially in the later levels because they try to make you, jump and then like you can't jump because
they want you to
you're jumping far
jump at the same time and you're like, holy shit, were you kidding me? I'm running down a waterfall. I'm already going like 80 miles an hour. The fuck do I need to jump for?
Let's get
committed yourself to a jump that's gonna
let's move this on to it's gonna spawn from Sonic Forces, but I don't want Sonic Forces to be this the main part of this discussion because Sonic's gotten way too much time on this podcast already. So, so one of the biggest, most common things I've seen people say and read people say is, well, I wasn't expecting a Odyssey level platformer game because Sega was only asking $40, so I knew that this wasn't going to be a AAA game. So I see that and I think, well, that's fine. It doesn't have to be a $60 game to be a good Sonic game. But because it's 40, it doesn't justify bad controls, bad level design, terrible cutscenes and just bad decisions. To me, that makes up no amount of bad things, bad decisions, bad execution, because it's a $40 game. Well, it's not a top tier game. To me, a $40 game represents a smaller budget. Maybe they know it's not a super long game, doesn't have a lot of replay value, does not excuse a bad game, bad controls. And it's
funny
get so frustrated.
Nobody's making an excuse for Rhyme. Like, I don't hear that excuse at all. Well, it's a $40 game, so these frame rate hiccups are okay. It's made by a small team. I don't hear that at all. It's a Sonic, exactly. It's because it's Sonic.
So instead of just applying this to Sonic, there's been other $40 games and budget titles. And Sean Long, great YouTuber. I watch most of his reviews, if not all his game reviews. He was the one that kind of was trying to say, well, he wasn't expecting Odyssey because of the price point. And, well, yeah, maybe you're not expecting like platforming perfection, amazing top to bottom quality game. But to me, just the idea that because it's $20 cheaper, it's okay to have flaws, just that doesn't sit well with me, because my $40 is just important to me as $60. Now, if you're going to put a game out, make a good game. Don't have it be cheap because it's a bad game. To me, that's just absolutely the definition of like I don't want to say a fanboy, but a person making excuses for a $1 million company that I just don't understand. So
there's a ton of $20 games that are awesome.
Yeah, Rocket League's coming out.
Sonic Mania was $20.
Well, it's already out in Europe because fuck the US.
Yeah. So yeah, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, $40 game, was very polished. I didn't love the whole thing. I mean, I thought it was a little. I just like Mario 3D World so much.
It's a slow puzzle platformer.
Yeah, wasn't my genre, but Kirby and the Rainbow Curse, $40 game. I really enjoyed that game. My favorite Kirby game, actually. So I don't understand why people are trying to justify a bad game because of the price. So Retro, I haven't heard from you in a while. What's your take on the game being $40 instead of 60, and some people trying to make that as justification for being a bad game, and that's okay?
The idea of relegating the price of a game to its quality is like the dumbest shit ever. I've literally played like $2 indie Steam games that are like seriously, where you're wondering why is this only $2? They have like tight controls, they look nice, they have cool gameplay, great story. It's like the fact I can't even comprehend how people think this is an excuse. €40, $40, that's still a lot of money still, And at first I was always interested in Sonic, for example. And then I hear you guys now say, like, it's a 3-hour game. And I'm like, wait, what? 3 hours for €40? Like, you can't always like bitch about, for example, what's the stupid cinematic game on PS4? The
Lost Legacy Uncharted just came out. Was 40 was a short.
What's this one game now? What was it called, like 1984 or
or 1886?
Yeah, that, for example. You can't hate on a game like that so much because it's 5 hours and then say, oh no, but €40 for this game is okay. Why not just hit like a 3-hour game and shit? No, like I seriously can't even begin a discussion about how stupid this is. Like, there are so many games that are so cheap, whether it's any developer or big adults, like you said, like Captain Toad, for example. That was like a dream of mine, that game. Like, it makes no sense to say that because it's 40, it's okay to be good or bad or anything. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. It's not a good defense. Like, you can say, I wasn't expecting a whole lot because it was cheaper, but there's still a lot of good games that are cheap. I'm playing a game right now that I love, More Fight. It was $15, and I would have gladly paid $30, $40 for that game. So,
and I don't think length always comes into play.
No.
Based on the price. I was a little disappointed that Captain Toad, I put 13 hours and all I had left to do was that ridiculously hard level at the end. There was nothing. I found all the other 100% whatever the collectibles were in each level. And I was like, yeah, it wasn't bad, a 13-hour game. I just didn't enjoy. I didn't love that style game. It wasn't really.
Yeah.
Had nothing to do. It sucked that it. I guess I wasn't mad that it was over that quickly because I wasn't like loving it. But the reason I guess I was like, yeah, it's $40. I appreciate that they didn't charge full price, but to me, it felt more like a $30 game to me from what I got. But the polish and everything was there. Now, if it just played bad, the controls sucked, and it super long loading times or was glitchy or something, I don't see myself being like, well, it was only 40. It's crazy. And then or let's get Robert's take first, and then
I get mad when I play a game that was $3.99 that was just trash.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's just trash. It's like, it's only $3. I'm still mad because I'm like, I could put that $3 into something else worth my time.
How much was the letter?
The letter was
like
$2. $2. I'm mad about that. Like, that's trash.
I forget how much Rumble was, but I was mad about that. I think
that was almost 20. Yeah.
But that could just be you having bad taste, Juice. That's what that is.
That's just not a great game.
One of the greatest examples I feel in the last couple of years, I think it's last year it came out. I played it when it came out last year on launch, is Stardew Valley, which was like $15, and I think I paid less for it even. And that game is so insane. It is so big. It is so good. Every single Harvest Moon, Rune Factory game that has ever come out and that are still coming out are always still inferior to that game. Price literally means nothing.
Yeah.
And what about
teach me, Richard, Death about Stardew Valley, because I have it. I don't understand it.
200 hours. He's like,
money away.
Help me, please.
So let's talk.
The patch for the video recording for the Switch version soon, actually.
Yeah.
I don't understand why that's necessary for that type of game.
I wonder if Doom's going to get that, because there could be some pretty cool multiplayer.
That game is a patch, period. That's
it does. So okay, we're gonna get back to Sonic a little bit here.
Really, I'm surprised.
How do you feel, Terrell, as a Sonic fan, about the fact that they basically just acknowledged that Sonic is not a top tier franchise, and this is only a $40 franchise now? Like this is no longer like a full price game franchise. Like, does that bother you at all that they? I mean, I think it's long overdue, but I'm not a big Sonic fan. So how do you feel just the idea that they kind of demoted the franchise?
I don't look at it as a demotion. I look at it as them finally being smart about what they should have been doing. See, the biggest problem Sonic games have had for the longest time, like for games like Unleashed, is that they couldn't justify $60. So they kept doing all this extra side shit, like adding in werehogs or other gimmicks to the game to try to stretch the game out to justify it being as much as it is. Sonic is a fast-paced action platforming game. There's no way in hell games are going to be long enough to justify $60. So making it $40 and just for example, Forces, the way it's structured in terms of how many levels you get and what kind of levels they are, that's fine. The problem is that they just need to recognize that's okay. And the fact that they've started to recognize that is cool, because then they can just focus on making a fun game instead of worrying about a game that needs to be $60 good. So I'm fine with that personally.
But what about like Freedom Planet had levels that took me like 10 minutes to get through one level?
Well, listen, it's different strokes for different folks, and I didn't even.
I mean, you can make a Sonic game longer than 3 hours.
You can make a Sonic game longer than 3 hours, but like I think in Colors was only like 4, 5. It wasn't that much longer, and I love that game. It's all about knowing how to make a better game. Like that's all it is. Because Colors, the only thing that makes Colors in terms of gameplay styles is that Colors just had longer levels, which is really one of Force's biggest problems. Just fucking focus on making fun levels and stop this stupid, we need to figure out a way to stretch the game out to justify it being $60. They used to drive me up the fucking wall, because that was the reason why we got these fucking gimmicks. Because we was like, the game, if we just do short levels, the game wouldn't be that long. They don't charge us full price for the fucking game.
I don't know why about that. Why can't they do long levels? I don't understand why they have to be short.
Because did you like Freedom Planet's levels, Juice?
I was enjoying it till I got to an impossible boss fight.
people don't like 10-minute levels, especially for a game that
not for a Sonic game.
Yeah, not for a Sonic's the longest it should ever go is like 5 minutes.
I don't agree with that. If it was structured like Lost World, if it was structured like Lost World, though, I feel like you could have longer levels.
Yeah, but Lost World was only like 3 minutes to 5 minutes average.
No, I know, but like the way they are, I could play longer levels of those kind of versions.
Yeah, but that's not what this game is. So
yeah, but this game doesn't need to exist. Period. But it is.
I see where Terrell's coming from. Somebody go get this man.
It's just like there's nothing we could do about how Sega feels about Sonic today. Like you can be sad that they basically dropped it down to not their top tier anymore. There's nothing you can do about it at this point. So
I know what T's mad about. I still where the fuck this night's gone.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like to me, a similar game to Sonic would be a Knights game, and I would pay $60 for a good Knights game. So I don't think it has anything to do with the gameplay or what they feel would justify $60. Because there's trash out there that don't even have a campaign that they charge $60 for, and then they want to charge you loot boxes and all this bull. So that doesn't. How you doing? Like that. I mean, so it's really up to how the developer feels about the game themselves. If they feel like it's justifiable to charge that. Now, apparently, Sega doesn't feel like it's justifiable to charge $60 for Sonic anymore. It's a sad day to me, but that's just where they are. So you just got to live with it.
All right, and sorry, I just got distracted by a link there. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Like, if Mario got hit, Nintendo's like, the next Mario game is gonna be $40. I'd be like, what the what?
Yeah, I'm confused.
Like, but you can't compare Sonic to Mario. That's what people are saying. But I'm like, I do. I can't help that I do. I grew up with Sonic and Mario on the same playing field as far as popularity. So I can't shake that. I can't just throw it away.
Well, the comparison is Mario went from 2D, and they found a way to make it work in 3D, and then they have them coexist. Sonic was in 2D. They went to 3D to mix reviews. It wasn't terrible.
It wasn't as good, but it was a nice foundation.
And then they're just kind of they don't know where to go. Like, why don't you make two separate series? Why don't you make 3D Sonic and 2D Sonic? Like,
well, considering how well Mania did, I think that's probably the direction they are going to go.
Hopefully,
it's honestly it's very similar to because the heart of Sonic Team is gone. Like Yuji Naka is gone. So it's like what if Capcom made a Mega Man game today? Like, would it be something people would like? Because a lot of those people are not there anymore. Yeah.
What happens if Miyamoto passed on? Koizumi was really the driving force.
Koizumi's a boss, so I wouldn't be worried now. But at this point, I wouldn't be worried.
He's been around for a while. That's the other thing.
If Miyamoto left before Mario 64 or something, you never know. Like, what could have happened? The core Nintendo guys are still mostly all there.
They got the foundation. They have the philosophy. That's the thing. Nintendo has that philosophy where I don't think Sega does.
Yeah, to train the young people to bring them up and show them how to do it and make sure they pass on the torch of
exactly
taught them. And people say, well, you can't compare it. Well, Sonic's fast and Mario's was about precision platforming. Well, I'm
not trying to turn Sonic into a precision platform.
No, but
and never should be.
I wouldn't mind it, but that's me. But
that's just one of the
I seen a person created this huge open environment and had Sonic running through it, and I know Trell didn't love it, but to me I was like,
what was that?
I was like, that looks like build a actual game around that that style, and it could work because you still can move fast, you still have branching paths. Like, it would work instead of being on rails. Like, you have full range movement, you go backwards, forward, all that stuff. And
you're talking about that fan game? I know you're talking about.
Yeah, where it's like a big, huge open area, but there is, if you miss a jump, then you drop down. It's almost like the 2D, where there's a high level, higher skill level.
To me, it's a little bit too wide for its own good, but that's personal.
Well, that's the only way it can work, because I mean, so many people.
You can split it up. You can have the crazy fast section, and then boom, all right, here's a kind of somewhat exploratory, platforming section, and then boom, get to the next area. Almost, I think what they were kind of trying to do with Lost World, and then
I think what a great
because I think Lost World's
is,
gameplay style worked for that. But go ahead, right?
Yeah,
a great example of how Sonic could work, how I think Juice means it and stuff. What I always say too is the one thing Lost Worlds did well was with the Zelda DLC is if you take Mario Odyssey, you have the level, the Wood Kingdom. And at one point, when you're pretty high up, there's those flowers that make you run really fast, and you have to run up that ramp through those rings. Like that is how a Sonic game could work if you build the game around that area, for example.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's my least favorite part of Odyssey, like controlling that fast running.
But you can perfect it. I just mean, like, it works because you're not on a rail, you're still going fast, so it could work when you base it around that.
Yeah, and then like there's a area where you do that a lot. It's like a bonus room, and then like there's a little path off to the left, just like when you're running on Jaxi, where the hard path is the skinny little spot, and you might die 10 times trying to get that moon over there. But
yeah,
it just seems like at this point they know fans like to create their own characters, so let's give them that option, and then just.
They didn't go any further with it. It was just like, let's just do that.
I mean, it wasn't a bad idea. They just needed to figure out.
That was a solid idea.
Well, the thing is with that one is that they have it has its own levels. Like it has its own levels, the Avatar.
And then like
don't pick it.
Even though they pretty much play exactly like modern Sonic.
Well, yeah, it plays exactly like it.
And then you see the guy with the whip who's doing a boss fight where he's just got to move barely left to right, and it's just whip and just kills the boss.
He basically broke the game with that whip.
It's like no skill required. So it's just, I was actually at $40. I was like, you know what? I can get that with discount like $17, and
you wouldn't like it.
And I heard some people were saying, early reports were that it wasn't too bad, and it's like, the demo looked pretty good on Switch, and I'm so glad I didn't spend that $17.
It was like for someone like me, I'd say the best I would say mediocre. For you, you absolutely hate it. Hell, if Robert doesn't like it, that should be. If Robert doesn't like it, that should be.
Yeah, we didn't point out that Robert just really likes almost everything. So
because he's fucking insane, everybody.
When Robert said that, I was like, "Whoa, this!"
And it was so raw, so fucking quick. Like I almost like this man walking to the room and slam a copy of the game on the ground.
He never does that about any game. Pretty much. And I was just like, whoa.
It's such a shame because I like the guy, he's a good guy and stuff, and so it's like,
why are you talking like that, like you're a fucking gangster, like you're about to shoot him? He's like, he's a good guy. No, I talked to his kids. I've seen his kids. Kids are cool, bang.
But he had to sleep with the fishes, see?
Robert got on Switch, which I didn't really see any portable mode gameplay, but it seemed like it was a pretty decent looking game compared to the other versions. It did run at half the frame rate, but I don't think the frame rate, from what it sounds like, really affects.
Nah,
the controls weren't.
No, it didn't.
Weren't that?
I felt like Robert. Like, I wish it did. That way, I could have justified all this bullshit. No, that's fine.
Oh well.
All right, and was there? I feel like there was like another news story or something.
Rocket League.
All right, so Rocket League is out right now, apparently
in Europe, anyway.
And apparently I forgot
the game retro,
but apparently they have a crossplay already available right now, so you're gonna be able to play with Xbox and PC people. That's
I know where you're missing. You're missing the Xenoblade Direct. That's what you're missing.
Oh yeah, that was that.
So Xbox gamers actually played.
That was Tuesday.
There wasn't much. There wasn't much to learn in that for me. Like it's kind of
really.
Other than Pyra has a new form, and for the most part, everything else I'd already seen.
Oh yeah, did y'all even play that Zelda DLC for it?
Yeah, I unlocked the.
I haven't even done
pretty
that.
Cool.
No, I haven't done it.
Pretty cool watching thing fall from the sky, and I did a little.
He said, "Link now has assless chaps."
It's not that great of a costume design, I don't think.
That's all
probably
right.
My least favorite thing about Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
I did want to
kind of weird.
I did want to kind of geek out because apparently there were a few places like GameSpot and the Game Explain where I guess they got like a 50-minute demo with the.
I haven't watched that.
You talk about these rumors, man. Soul Calibers.
I mean, now listen, I do want to talk about that, but I just want to geek out about the Xenoblade stuff so much. Fucking game looks so fucking good.
No, I sent some screenshots. I sent a screenshot.
The
close call thing.
Close call, yeah, that looked cool as hell.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Game looks so fucking good, and just the conversation about the combat, because I'm not like, I mean, X's combat I didn't get like super in depth with, even though you could, but just some of the shit you can do in the game. I love that they've made it flashier and way more appealing to look at and shit, and even added some of the Zelda elements, like how you can get rid of the map and the and the UI, like little parts of the UI, and I just want to address this as the resident anime fan. It is so fucking important that the game hasn't been censored in any way. I'm glad you've learned, Nintendo. It's a small thing, but I fucking appreciate it so goddamn much. And then 2, Japanese respect. I understand that people prefer to play it in English. I'm playing in English my first time anyway. But people,
that hurts. That seriously hurts.
Well, what?
Especially coming from you. No.
What are you talking about?
No,
Retro, because the English dub is in fucking I don't know what that is. I guess that's British voice acting, I guess.
It sounds British to me, yeah.
Terrell's always been an English voice actor guy. I'm more of a...
I don't understand, like...
I enjoy my dubs anyway.
The elitism of these, I gotta have the Japanese voice. Well, it's cool, like, I get it, but
people
like,
prefer the Japanese voices. That's
for me,
like... I want to hear the voice.
I don't have to read a bunch of text.
I know, is you playing a video.
That's such an American fucking thing, that shit. I don't have to read watching a movie and
there's
shit.
There's a charm to... the sometimes bad English voice acting for me. Like I find it somewhat charming. So,
well, yeah, I get it. I'm just saying I appreciate that they're at least giving.
Totally.
I
totally appreciate
the fans the option.
No, I'm happy there's a Japanese.
And I'm dude. To me, the more thing I'm happy about is the no censoring shit. Because so far I've heard any rumors.
Have you seen anything though that was like anything comparable to X? What they censored, because they censored a Lynn.
Dude, Power's outfit is period. It's like, that's enough.
Yeah, but she's not a 13-year-old kid.
But I was expecting them still for Para to like raise like the pants a bit somehow. I'm still waiting.
Yeah, like the character design is so Japanese. I'm so fucking floored that they allowed that shit.
I mean, it's nothing wrong with it. That's
no. And then some of the blade designs, bro, get the fuck out of here, man. I
shared one of the screen caps of one of them.
It's crazy. They don't give a. Also, I'm just Nintendo in general with their waifus. What the fuck has been going on this year? You got Zelda look bad. You got these chicks' arms looking bad as fuck.
Peach.
Yeah, okay. Peach is getting up there, but we ain't. I'm not that reckless. All right, Robert, you can cut that shit out. All right.
All right. Well, I'll take her.
And then fucking you got the Fire Emblem bullshit, and Xenoblade didn't give a fuck, and I love it. I love that shit to death, and and then
Marina.
And by the way, I'm probably gonna link a cutscene that they showed off. Shit, it's so good. I love the comedy in this game and the cutscenes. I can't wait. Can't fucking wait. I needed an RPG. It's been a while, dude. I fucking need it.
Yeah, it's because it's an RPG. That's why you're excited.
No, shout outs to
well, no, because I got Pokemon on Friday, so it's not like I'm not gonna have an RPG.
Oh, you're actually getting that?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, yeah, it's Pokemon.
I mean, it's like asking, why did you buy Sonic Forces? Did you think it was gonna be a bad game when you bought it? No, you didn't.
Trying to give a shout out here, you guys.
Who's the shout out?
Shout outs to Player Essence.
No, you're a piece of shit.
Hooking me up with for hooking us up with the he shows about Walmart and Xenoblade Chronicles Special Editions, $82 on Walmart.com. So save me $30. Thank you very much.
How much is normally again?
I think it was 100, wasn't it?
100 with taxes and shipping, and for me.
And then also, just real quick, the season pass, which I thought was interesting because that's the first time I think Nintendo's in that with an RPG.
That came out of nowhere.
Actually, no, I'm lying because Fire Emblem, I'm lying. But I'm still surprised that it's like a year-long. It's
they
like
let you know, yeah,
and I think that's smart because it allows all their games to maintain relevance throughout next year. So it's like, oh yeah, we got new games next year, but you also got the DLC. You got Hell, we still got that new character for Arms tease going around on Twitter and shit. You got fucking Xenoblade support.
True that, Jack Gates. Where is WWE 2K18?
Apparently, there's a rumor that it comes out in like the 20-something. I'm like, a rumor that comes out in 10 days?
Yes.
What? That's crazy.
But yeah, Xenoblade looked good. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I did want to talk about those rumors, but I don't know if Juice cares about that shit.
We need to.
I don't care about rumors.
Come on, man. There's some good stuff in there.
There is some good shit in there.
What?
Dude,
what?
You know when they lose me is when they say, "This is the Nintendo Direct coming, and this is what's in it." No one's ever predicted a Nintendo Direct.
Well, they don't,
or the content ever.
They didn't say it that way. They said if they announced it, they would be announcing a Nintendo Direct. They didn't actually say it was a Nintendo Direct.
Well, someone said
that. The guy who predicted like the Turtles and whatchamacallit.
Injustice, which is
like that's pretty obscure. That is obscure.
Yeah, that's different though. Like if you're talking about something appearing. Well, yeah, he was specifically about the part where they're saying in January Direct there's gonna be Metroid Prime 4, like that kind of stuff.
No, he said they would probably show some early Metroid Prime footage.
Probably,
if it's shown, it probably would be shown in like a January Direct.
Yeah,
but the whole thing, the reason why I bring it up is because he wasn't just leaking Nintendo information; he was leaking like a whole bunch of shit. Like,
right. I guess if you guys want to talk about, give me some info.
I'm gonna address my favorite thing.
Yeah,
this shit had me in fucking tears. If this is a thing, I will cry. I probably would cry if they actually reveal this.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Oh yeah, I know.
There's a particular Square Enix is like, hey, we might possibly be putting out a sequel to a really cherished DS game on the Switch, and I was like, it better not be what I think it is. And the game I'm referring to is a game called The World Ends With You.
Oh,
fucking love this game.
You do that. I love it.
I've never heard of
it.
I heard of it, never played it though.
I will be on the floor crying if that is true. That's a great game. Rumor that's really cool. Fucking, I'm gonna let T tell about the Soul Calibur one because that's pretty lit in its own right.
Well, I mean that's pretty much. I haven't paid too much attention to it, but it was like Soul Calibur and Link being in it. I mean, make me jizz in my pants, why don't you? Like, you do that to me again. I mean, that's one of the highlights of my GameCube was Soul Calibur 2 with Link. Man, hours and hours and hours of playing that game with friends and stuff. So
as long as it don't run at 20 frames per second, I'll be happy.
Well, apparently that's the one that's like only gonna be on like PC, PS4, and Switch. Like Xbox wasn't included in that rumor.
Wasn't the GameCube 160 frames? I feel like it was.
Yeah,
it was.
I think they've always been. Dreamcast was too.
Yeah.
I'm
Dreamcast
just too. Like it's the first like Sony PC Switch game that doesn't include Xbox because I feel like that's.
I think the writing is on the wall with some of these Japanese.
Well, it's just a weird title because Soul Calibur I wouldn't think would be like so obscure. They'd be like, nah, we can't put that.
That is true.
There.
That is true.
Like if it was other titles and then the other thing was Dragon Ball FighterZ obviously getting ported.
But when you're struggling to get like big Japanese games to hit 1 million on Xbox, and I'd be worried as a smaller fighting game even. So when you know, forgot it took quite some time for Final Fantasy 15 to hit that, and then like it sold better once the price dropped. But it wasn't a good showing on that console. So
I think more and more devs are realizing that it's better to just worst case downgrade a game and put the money on the Switch than wasting resources on the Xbox One, because more and more games are these days, the Japanese games are like PlayStation 4 and Switch, and the Xbox One is getting like put to the side more and more and more because I think they realize okay, if the Xbox doesn't want to be in Japan, then why the fuck should we be on the Xbox?
That's the elephant in the room. That console sells like two units a week in Japan. Yeah. Like, why even waste your time? And they, the Xbox One X is going to do nothing there.
It's going to do even less, even though it's smaller.
Yeah, you don't understand that market in Japan, and you think more power and a bigger, well, it's not bigger at least this time, but just more power is going to move Japanese
well, that wasn't the problem because Japanese games are on the lower budget anyway because of the art style.
Yeah, they don't even do it like that. So That's why they spent way more time on Vita. Like, you know.
Well,
So
let's talk about some facts, and that was companies saying, "Yeah, we got games coming to the Switch."
I think
Bandai Namco said 3 exclusives and plus multiplats,
which is funny because of I don't want to go back to the rumor, but that's the one thing about the Metroid.
That's another rumor too.
Yeah, Metroid Prime 4. They say Bandai Namco is helping develop that game.
Yeah.
Because primarily because Bandai Namco is one of the only few companies in Japan that's actually released Unreal 4 engine games, and people think that that's what Metroid Prime 4 is running on.
It should be.
I think it's more wishful thinking.
I mean, it is, but look,
people want that to run on Unreal Engine.
It should be run on Unreal Engine.
I feel like to me, that's the game that would be running on Unreal Engine 4. To be fair, but I mean, I get
Yoshi
right now. It is just a opening stage. I guess I'll just go through the other ones real quick. They said Blizzard's working on Hearthstone port for Switch, which is kind of a no-brainer. That probably shouldn't be a thing.
That's just a guess. That's not even a rumor. That's just like, okay, what makes sense.
They said supposedly they heard about it during Blizzard's convention they just recently had.
BlizzCon?
Yeah. They said Animal Crossing.
That's something you should easily be able to look up though.
Yeah. Animal Crossing next year.
Oh god. I hope
the Switch's virtual console is more of a subscription service.
I figured that.
Oh, and Mother 3 is real. They're just trying to figure out when they want to release it.
Stop playing.
That just, basically took away all credibility.
That just killed the whole.
Mother 3 being real is not the part. The part is if it's gonna get released. That's the part.
I personally don't give a fuck about Mother or Earthbound. I tried playing Earthbound. I hate this game.
Is it Mother Earthbound?
Earthbound, bitch.
I think at this point, with even the way Nintendo was toying during the Wii U already, they're making that game and they're releasing all that shit. I swear they're working on that. It's so obvious.
The only Mother 3 I care about is the N64 one.
Oh, you're talking about
N64?
The one they were making on N64.
Didn't that get canceled though?
Yeah.
That's why it never came out.
Well, that's what happens when the game gets canceled, Robert.
It died because the 64DD did so terribly. A lot of games were counting on that system.
Double D's.
The fucking 64's double D's just
64 double D, man.
Just gutting and dice, man. They should have made them some E's, man.
Too much cleavage.
All right, so we're fucking trash. All right, everybody, we know. Don't tell us in the comments.
Rocket League apparently plays great, very smooth and handheld from Nick. Something.
Who the fuck is Nick?
Right. He's in the chat.
Damn, dog.
He's in the UK.
My bad.
So he's playing it.
We could have asked Richard, but he's not downloading the game like he was supposed to be.
No, it's like I said, I'm so invested in Rocket League on the PC. I have like DLC on there and achievements and game time. Like if I would get it on the Switch, it is just for an extra thing. I'm not gonna invest so much extra time again in this game.
Wait, no, the good news is though,
it's not
we
like
can play with you still.
We can still play with you, yeah.
You're like I said, I'm getting it, but I'm not in a rush to get it.
Well, we can play with you on PC. I don't know how it's going to work with friends list and stuff.
Yeah, I'm curious how that would go, but
I don't know how we'd find.
We can try.
You can't get no Nintendo skin, so nah.
Yeah, trust me, that Samus car is the reason I'm double dipping.
Yeah,
is that the only reason? It's like I gotta get it, man.
It is.
Were you one of those PC gamers or Xbox gamers that were mad because they couldn't get the Mario stuff?
It's so good.
Yeah, that's why he's buying the Nintendo version. That's what life does to you because it's a piece of shit sometimes. I want the fucking Samus skin, so fuck it, I'll buy it again. You're fucking evil. But he needs it.
All right, well, yeah, I guess let's wrap this up. Do some final thoughts, and maybe Rocket League's available in the U.S. or something.
It's at midnight.
Yeah, it's at midnight.
They already said midnight for us, so
which is 3 a.m.
No, it's midnight for me.
Yeah, that's right. They're already at midnight in the UK and stuff. So
3 a.m. because they count West Coast as midnight over.
No,
that's what LA Noir will be out at midnight.
Oh, they get it at 9 in the West Coast.
Yeah, they're gonna get it at 9 apparently this time.
What?
Yeah,
they're being bitches, man. They're being bitches.
Yeah, but we're gonna get it at the same time at midnight.
We're gonna get it at midnight, and then LA Noir will be out in that other game that you could preload. I forgot.
Apparently, to Dayvan 23, the cross-platform lobbies are coming in an update later.
Wait, but I thought what?
I thought someone said it was.
Yeah, I thought it was. I thought someone already said like. It was,
how does he know? Where is his insider source?
Yeah, Link.
I want my link, and we're not talking about the sexy kind in the game. All right, we're talking about the real ones.
But I don't know. It's going to be interesting. We got a lot of third-party games coming out in November. Doom seems to, be. Doom's a very good port. Rhyme looks like it's not a great port. Sonic Forces, the port seemed to be okay. The game just seems to be the problem. So it's going to be interesting to find out which games have good performance, which games they suck on the Switch, that kind of stuff. Because we're going to get we got that Rive, that indie game finally coming to a Nintendo system. You got Rhyme, you got L.A. Noire, Rocket League, Skyrim, Resident Evil, Revelation. So there's quite a few games, and it's going to be interesting.
How much Rive is?
I think it's $20.
$12.99.
$12.99. Shit,
nice.
Buying that.
Okay, I just bought Rocket League. Just saying.
Did you?
Oh,
he's like, what?
So what you doing?
You weak.
And Monopoly's out.
Oh, Uno! Don't forget Uno.
We ain't shit, dude.
Ubisoft is putting out these damn board games on Switch.
Yeah, Monopoly.
Monopoly. What the hell?
Come on, man, you want to play Monopoly with your kids?
Yeah, where's Yuka?
Hey, chill out.
And then you got
another bad port.
Where's Steve at? That's my question.
That'll probably be Winter Olympics.
It'll be like, yeah,
because it's fucking garbage.
We'll have to see.
It's an online heavy game, so I think that's might have some doubt.
Where's Payday 2 at? Damn it.
Mm-hmm.
It's all going to be this is the first big push for third party games. We'll see what happens next year, and maybe we can see a little more consistent performance. I don't know. It could just be them trying to rush games out for the holiday. Trying to push the port out, whether it's done or not. Because of the Switch is successful and the first holidays coming up. And maybe the power of the Switch will just be a problem for the system this whole life with some of these multi-plats. We'll have to find out in the future, but it's for people that love third-party games. November is your month, and I know quite a few people in the Wii U era were really crying after that first year. We had basically full third-party support minus a few big titles. And people really showed their third-party love and turned into Wii U hate when some of these games started disappearing.
Became elitists, apparently. Mm-hmm. It's just frame rate isn't good enough.
They're like, wait a minute. Then Call of Duty disappears, Assassin's Creed disappears, and all of a sudden all these Nintendo fans, what I thought were just Nintendo fans, were like, where's our third-party games, Nintendo? And just turned on the Wii U over third-party games. And it's like, I just never, to me, if you bought the Wii U, I guess Nintendo did set it up as gonna have.
They did say, they had the song and dance about third parties and whatnot. Yeah. So it's on them.
But it's still a Nintendo console, and I've never really expected that much from third parties ever since the N64. How many times?
GameCube had good support on that.
GameCube did.
Because they had nothing else.
I was like, oh, wait a minute. Real quick, this is kind of random for those who don't know, because you won't see it. Richard Death, what the fuck is up with this picture in the chat, dog? like, I went to go post this link.
For reals?
And I put the page on, what are you doing?
Mind the gap.
That was fucking terrible.
Pauline.
By the way, for those who are curious, it's a picture of Pauline's ass. All right, that's what it is.
So the guy
took that to mess with a Drone Crusher on Twitter because he always likes all this ass shit and stuff.
Bro, there's a picture of Peach. This man, he doesn't know the greatness of the internet yet. That's what it is.
I was sitting there. The guy at work that's got a Switch. He was playing Odyssey, and he was doing finding the musicians. Then he went and did the power plant, got it back up, and he went and did the festival. And he's kind of a cool kind of hipster kind of guy. And he's just seen Pauline in the dress when she started singing. And he's kind of talking to himself. And he's like, Pauline, he's like, man, what's going on? I'm kind of got crushing on you right now. He's just a funny guy like that, and it was just funny to see that pure moment happen. Of because before she's just like in that business casual or whatever suit, and then
a pantsuit,
and then the dress. It's like it's kind of funny. But anyway, let's do final thoughts. Get out of here, and some of us can play some Rocket League, and others can't. I mean, you could create a European account and buy it, and then play it on.
That's true.
That's a lot of fucking effort.
It is.
Oh, wait a minute. That's very true. You could just buy it, then just go switch to your regular account.
Yeah,
and
you can play it on your regular.
Wait a minute. That's very true.
But why? It's only a couple hours. It ain't like you ain't got a bunch of games just sitting.
Robert.
I know. I wasn't playing.
Why did he do that shit? Just threw this man. So I swear to God, Juice has like the best sneak disses. That man don't give a fuck.
Dude's got so many unfinished games on his Switch. He's got more unfinished games than I have games, period.
Bro, Juice, what is with you, man? This hater.
Stating facts.
Man, this man is a fucking savage. Someone get whose man is this? Somebody go get this man.
All right, so final thoughts. Let's start with T this time. I always usually save you for last, but let's start with you.
Okay, you say the best for last, So no, I'm just fine. Yeah, great podcast, guys, as usual. Looking forward to some games coming out. Obviously, Ryan was a little disappointing because it was on my pre-order list, but I had to drop it. So sad, but looking forward to Skyrim for the third time. Third time I buy this game. It's not like I bought it full price. Those other times the first time I bought it, it was I want to say like $30, and then I saw like the special super duper Game of the Year edition, and I ended up buying that. And so after I buy the Switch version, I'll spend somewhere close to $100 on it. So it's not that bad. And this one comes with all the DLC, so good to go. Yeah, looking forward to a little movie coming out this week with a bunch of superhero teams.
Yeah.
And you might have heard of it called Justice League.
What's your
The Powerpuff Girls.
I'm ready.
Oh, you piece of shit.
What did he say?
The Powerpuff Girls.
Powerpuff Girl.
Oh, man.
Fighting.
I don't need this movie to just be good. I need it to be greatness, DC and Warner Brothers. Let's make it.
You're asking a lot.
That's like Sonic fans accepting mediocrity.
I know, like Batman vs Superman.
Not accept mediocrity on a Justice League movie.
Can't do it. I need greatness, so hopefully
they've been very with the trailers. They haven't really shown much. They keep showing basically the same stuff.
Yeah, which is good. I'm glad.
That's usually either a good sign or a bad sign.
Yeah, you can go either way with that. That doesn't.
Sometimes it means they have nothing else, and most of the movie takes place in that like looks like red skies and destruction type of stuff. I don't know. It'd be interesting. I'm still looking forward to it.
I want to be entertained, but I also want to be like, oh, this is very cool. The direction they're going here. So, I was very entertained by Batman v Superman, but there was some stuff in there. Mired it a little bit, and oh my god, Suicide Squad with the putties, man, the putties from what was it, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So kind of brought that movie down a little bit. Well, anyway, great podcast as usual, and like I always say, play Nintendo phones.
All right, RetroDeath, final thoughts.
Yeah, great podcast. Was a lot of random game talk. I think we covered more games than we sometimes do, which was a lot of fun. And there's just so many games coming out. There's so much shit to buy. Like, I don't know where to look anymore at this point. Like, the Switch is the thing that they lit this fire under a pot and it's not stopping and it's already boiling over. And then at the end of the year, it's going to explode. And I swear, people are so afraid of 2018. I'm like, dude, don't worry. 2018 is going to cost you a fuckload of money.
It's going to be worse.
Yeah.
If Nintendo's planning on 30 million Switches in production in that year, they better. I think they know
Pokemon.
They know they have something. I think Pokemon for sure.
The guy, I mean, he said it in the E3. He said, what did he say? Over a year, it's going to take us. And that was E3. That was this summer. So
I'd be shocked. Yeah,
that would be fall of next year. Trust me, it's happening.
But anyway, Retro.
That was it. I'm good.
Sorry.
Okay. That was it. I was already done. That was it.
Robert, go ahead.
How's it going? So, I think I can't wait because
That's a hell of a pickup line, man.
we got Justice League coming out, and I do hope it is amazing. You know, you want this big team up to be amazing, hopefully.
You want to be as good as Thor Ragnarok, at least.
Which I mean, but I know you're talking. But Thor Ragnarok,
Hey, man, I like that movie.
amazing. It was amazing.
It's a great comedy. It's a great comedy.
It is a great comedy.
Too bad it's a superhero movie.
Man, you was some
It worked for
shit.
Deadpool though. Comedy worked for Deadpool for me.
Well, that's what Deadpool's about. But.
Well, you know, I still love Thor, and I hope Justice League will be that good. If it is, hell's yeah. But we'll see. You know, I don't really know. But if Blade Runner is still playing in your theater, go watch that movie, please.
That movie's
It's not playing in mine. It's not playing in mine anymore.
That's such a good movie too.
Yeah, it's so sad. Like I look at it, it's like, damn, man, it made 230 or whatever worldwide. It's like, oh god, it's like, damn.
230 worldwide.
Yeah.
What was the budget?
150 or 180.
And marketing was probably 100 plus. I would, because it
so
was marketed like
anything
crazy.
it broke even or lost some money. That's what happened.
Yeah, it's like, damn, that
It'll make it up on Blu-ray.
Yeah,
and I think it'll be one of those, you know, cult classics. People are gonna still
like the first one. Again, the
Like
first
the
one didn't do well either. So
Yeah, I mean, but if you still have it in theaters, check it out. I really doubt it is, but maybe it is. And yeah, guys, you know, there's a lot of games coming out. Not a lot of time in a day, only 24 hours. So, you know, maybe you could spend 24
how many
games.
hours?
24 hours.
24?
I need that information again, man.
And think about it, you sleep like 8 of it. It's bullshit. You got like no hours to do
Are
anything.
you really complaining about
If you're
sleep?
me, you
As
sleep
like a bodily function?
Makes
3 to
me
4.
mad.
Man, I wish I didn't have to sleep. Well, why don't you?
I didn't wish I
wouldn't
didn't have to eat. You know, but you gotta eat.
Well, you
Wish
don't
I
do
had to
that,
shit.
Robert.
Oh, never mind. That's
I wish
okay.
that.
I can still play video games and shit now.
It's the stupidest shit.
You know,
Literally.
that's the good thing though, is that I can, even on
My
work,
colon doesn't hold me back anymore.
and I play some NBA or something, get my ass whooped.
You need to practice your NBA.
Yeah, you need
Yeah.
to stop
Yeah.
checking up 3-pointers.
Hey man,
Yeah.
we live.
Half court
Y'all didn't
shit.
let this man chill out.
You know, I'm pretty bad at NBA. But you know, life goes on. So
Let's turn it to
have a good night.
Remember, kids, life goes on.
Have a good night and rest in peace.
What?
What? You just killed everybody. Right?
All right, Terrell. Follow that up.
I can't, man. Robert's like that fucking weird kid at the party you don't know how to interact with. I swear. It's like, hey, what's up, man? The sky is orange.
He's an awkward
today.
kid that somebody just gave the mic to. Here you go.
Yeah, like so, like who gave this man this mic? It's fine. Anyway, fucking.
I don't know what to say.
I don't know what to do. Where I put it. Anyways, this is a good podcast. Probably the most comedy oriented one we've had in a while. I've died a few times. I just keep coming back. They can't keep me down.
Rest in peace, Terrell.
Rest in peace.
Listen, y'all some shit. That's what you.
I had
This
some-
over here keeps sneak dissing people. It's fucking ridiculous. Fucking
Drinking
10 out of 10.
milk.
Anyways, Pokemon Friday. That's me all day. Rocket League. More than likely, I'm gonna wait a little bit just to see what the situation is about the frame rate and everything, just to make sure.
I heard it's 60. Like,
I heard it's 62. That don't mean shit. I want to.
I want to see it's 60.
Yeah, I want to make sure everything's consistent. Damn it. Just an LA Noir tomorrow. Fucking other game. Oh, Skyrim Friday. Holy shit. Just a lot of games, and then Xenoblade in like 2 weeks, dude. I'm so fucking ready, bro. I'm so fucking ready. Yeah, and I don't want to talk about Sonic for a while unless you're talking about Mania. That's the other
definitely. This is the remainder of the year will be Sonic free on the Juices Loose podcast.
Oh yeah, because
Nice.
it's such a fucking
He's got a
shot
lot of
considering
shine.
how rare it
That's not true.
shows
That's
up.
not because the end of the year for the the top 5 or whatever.
Maybe we'll do
guaranteed,
most disappointing.
Mania will.
And Mania will be on Terrell's top 3. Mania will be in Terrell's top 3.
But like, I can't do a top 5. I only played like one bad game this year.
I thought you were gonna say you couldn't do a top 5 because you only played one game.
Last year, that top 5 was hard because I didn't play like 5 good games that came out in 20 that were like brand new. I had to put Tomb Raider and Doom came out in 2016.
Yeah, Doom came out in 2016.
I had to put Tomb Raider PC version, which came out January.
Yeah, and we gave you shit for that, and it was funny.
There wasn't enough games, but your point about there's too many games makes a top 5
easier,
easy
but also
to do.
harder.
It should be because I'm very curious of how also we got the Game Awards, guys, for those who care.
I don't
no
care.
one cares.
Oh, we got it. I can't wait.
Oh yeah, I know what I can't wait for. I can't wait for Croby Cat's roasting of the Game
It's gonna be
Awards.
funny.
Hey man, I'm waiting for. I just want to. I'm just hoping Jeff Keighley just finally gives. I can't think of his name now. Fucking Metal Gear Solid. What's his name? Kojima. I'm just hoping he finally gives that man the blowjob he deserves.
Oh my god, he already did that.
No, he didn't because his mouth wasn't wet and it wasn't
Oh my lord.
All right, Terrell's done.
Everybody win, bitches.
Turn off his mic.
Blowjob for Kojima.
Oh,
I could care less about the Game Awards, but I think it would be a publicity stunt if a Nintendo Switch game doesn't win Game of the Year. Like, to me, they would be doing it just for the controversy, because there's no way Zelda and Mario are getting beat this year.
Yeah, you can't. Literally, you just can't.
they can. They can. No, they can't.
Buy some DLC or something from Uncharted.
Lost Legacy.
But
Legacy wins it all.
He sounded way mad about it. He should have.
They give it to Horizon.
Yeah,
I'd be mad, yo.
but I care about the Game Awards like I care about Rotten Tomatoes. I have literally not checked Rotten Tomatoes in over a year. I could care less what the Justice League, because Batman vs Superman had one of the lowest.
Yeah, it was very low.
Rotten Tomato scores.
Right.
To me, like, that movie was at least as good as Civil War. I liked it better, but
I love that movie.
So I could care less. I am worried because movies where you have this like a cast this size, this many characters, tends to kind of like affect, like, they can't give everybody like a bunch of time.
Screen time, right?
Yeah, so you're gonna have probably some additional characters that don't get any kind of setup or anything. So I'm a little worried about being an ensemble.
You can't win because it's like, oh, I don't want to see another origin story, but then, oh, I didn't see enough of that guy.
Yeah,
it's just like, what do you want me to do?
So I'm gonna go into it with an open mind, and it should be great, but I'm not as big as, like, I like DC movies better, but I'm not like so diehard about the Justice League where it's like it's got to be amazing. Like, I could say that from like a DC fan probably would think that, but I just want a good movie and entertaining. And from what I've seen from the trailer, I'm excited. So I'm definitely going to see that Thursday night.
Nice.
After work, and looking forward to that. And then playing some video games, Rocket League, Doom, added to the online. Our list of games we can play online.
And now we can remove Splatoon. Oh,
you ain't shit. What is with this?
I honestly.
Y'all crazy.
We talked about this.
Y'all minds.
Oh yeah, there's a Splatfest this weekend. I forgot about that.
Well, we were talking about how it's like all the new, quote unquote, new stuff coming to Splatoon lately has just been old stuff that they're bringing back, and it's like, to me, that's gotta stop. Just gotta either have new stuff or just give us all what was Splatoon 1 content. Should have been there anyway in the beginning, and then all new stuff. But
it's all about Team Sci-Fi though, so it's all good.
Yeah, Team Fantasy, bro.
I think Team. Fuck the Splatfest.
You guys live in fantasy. I live in possible reality.
Exactly. I don't give a damn. That's the joy of video games. Fuck you, man.
I want to continue my streak, my 3-0 Splatfest streak, so I'll probably partake a little bit. But It's just I'm looking forward to Rocket League. I don't know, maybe I won't like it, but I'm looking forward to trying it, and I like the crossplay. I like what they've done.
We'll enjoy it as a team. Like when we're playing as a team, you'll enjoy it.
I think it's gonna be like ARMS, where it's like decent without a decent game, but when it's with friends, to me, it's like almost my number 2 game of the year when we're playing in a friends lobby. So I'm thinking Rocket League's gonna be one of those best played with friends. So, but it's exciting to have all these games coming and have Xenoblade Chronicles 2 coming, and it's just an exciting time. So, looking forward to all the games, and then got some good content on Netflix.
And we got
Punisher
Hulu
coming out. Yeah, we got Hulu app on the Switch. Who cares? But,
I wish I had a Hulu account so I could give a fuck. Sorry.
Yeah,
I have one. I still don't care.
I wouldn't care about Netflix. Like, why am I turn my Switch on to do that stuff?
Exactly. I'm not putting that wear on my Switch.
All these people can stop bitching about the streaming apps not coming.
Yeah. But it's like
it's a 3-hour battery. You're like, why would I even?
I can watch a movie, bro. Come on, man.
You got all these smart TVs. You got all these devices that can easily sync to your TVs now and stuff. And freaking my cable box has Netflix. I just say voice remote Netflix, and it builds up Netflix. It's like so pointless. But anyway,
technology, man.
I guess it doesn't hurt to have it, but it's
no, it doesn't hurt. I'm just saying I don't know why you'd be overly excited for it. Is all I'm saying.
Pains.
But yeah, it's just a good time to be a Nintendo fan, and I mean, what else can you say? There's gonna be, for me, like the top 5, like Robert was saying, there's an actual debate. I'll have to decide like which game's gonna make it, which games aren't. Last year it was just like, can I find 5 games? So it's a big difference from last year. So thanks everybody. The chat's been like super active since even before this podcast started. Appreciate everybody for tuning in, checking us out each week, and yeah, we'll see you guys next week.